that time of year. We're diving into our third year of homeschooling. So although we homeschool year round, we are officially diving in to the start of this school year, and it's gonna look a little bit different. I have a ninth grader this year. My oldest son is starting high school. We are still choosing to homeschool. We don't know what the next several years of high school are gonna look like for our family, but right now we are choosing to homeschool his freshman year. And like I've mentioned in the past, we're part of a co-op group, Classical Conversations, and I have decided to step up and direct the ninth grade class, which is 6 students, including my son. I have never done it before, so all through the summer I've been familiarizing myself and reading all the novels and the documents and the literature just to prepare myself, and it is a lot. It is a lot. You forget all the things that you are taught in high school, what you're expected to know in high school, all the things that you want to learn and research, and it is a lot. These are not all the books here, but these are most of the books. These are our science textbooks, our science notebooks. We are doing Exploring Creation with Physical Science. It is a lot of books here, and we are diving in. So I have been prepping, being that I'll be the director of our group. I've been prepping throughout the summer to help facilitate and help guide the parents to help understand more of what we'll be doing. So we are doing Apologia, Exploring Creation with Physical Science, which is a really interesting textbook. I love the breakdown and the dynamics of it. I love that God is the center, which is why we are part of Classical Conversations, which is one of the reasons why we've chosen to homeschool, to make sure that God is the center of our home, the center of our life, the center of all things that we learned and we bring into our source. We will be doing the American documents. We are doing American literature, and these books are really interesting. The stories in here go in depth. They give you a lot of information, a lot of research. So we'll be doing these books. And here is our timeline. So this timeline, my son started last year in 8th grade, and we're going to continue with this throughout the next several years of high school. We're also doing traditional logic, and I love this because I don't remember diving in this way with logic and understanding and just having a good breakdown of just critical thinking. Critical thinking is very important. I feel like that lacks a little bit depending on where you get your education from. So I love that we're able to dive into that. One of my favorite things that we'll be doing this year is going to be debate. We are doing a whole debate. First semester and second semester we'll be doing the death penalty, which is really interesting because I'm going to break down the students into pairs, and then we'll be going on both sides and just debating on why either you are for the death penalty or you are against the death penalty. And I think it's really interesting to hear 14 to 16-year-olds really dive into the differences of why they agree or disagree, and it's always going to be with God in mind. So here's one of the debate books. We're going to dive into understanding, breaking down the speeches, the opponents, the respectful part of it. I think it's really great for presentation and to build up confidence. So we'll be doing presentations as well in front of our entire community. Lost tools of writing, which my son has done. Again, critical thinking is very important to teach all children, because I feel that as we move forward in the world, critical thinking is not something that's taught and it's not really understood. And if you lack comprehension, I feel that it's going to determine your breakdown of conversations and understanding and things like that. And then we'll also be doing economics, a finance course that we're going to be diving into here. And these are some of the textbooks that we'll be using. This will be for second semester of the 9th grade, and I think it's really important because there are so many older children, even college-bound kids, that don't understand finances and don't know how to even use a checking account, and I think it's really important to break that down. And we still currently do Latin, which is part of the co-op that we're part of. There are a few students that will be taking Spanish or Italian. My son has decided that he's no longer going to do Latin and he's going to jump into doing Spanish because he did do that for 7th and 8th grade, which I'm comfortable with. The reason why Latin is taught is because it brings all other languages together, and if you could break down the Latin verbs and vowels and understand the language, you're able to then pick up another language, and it just builds your brain. It makes a stronger process of understanding words. So although it is not my favorite subject, my favorite strand to work through, to teach, to learn, It is part of the CC curriculum, so for the students that are going to continue to do Latin, I will make sure to facilitate and navigate them through this 9th grade year. I do have 2 kids doing Spanish, 1 child doing Italian, so we'll be a separated group during language, but I think it's still going to really coincide really well together. I feel that the kids are going to be able to share and pick each other's brains on different languages, and I think it's really important. We will be reading 28 novels. Well, most of the children and myself had read most of the books already, and if not read, we are either listening to Audible or we found some films that we're able to watch relating to the book. But these are the 2 that I currently have, and it's Up From Slavery and The Taming of the Shrew, and these 2 books are really great. We've also did Johnny Truman, and I'm finding them really interesting books really that I've actually never read before. Never had the desire to read, never was pushed to read. So now that I'm doing this as in a leadership role, it's interesting to dive into these things with desire to want to do so, and I think it's really important. So that ties in all the things that we'll be doing. We'll also be doing math, we'll be doing algebra, moving through that. My son's a little bit ahead, so we're not really in 9th grade math, we're more going into 10th grade math, which is the beauty of homeschooling, that if you are ahead at a certain level of a certain subject, you don't have to stay behind because you're working with a large group of children. You're able to go at your own pace, whether you are ahead or you need a little longer time to adjust to it. So that is always one of my favorite parts of homeschooling. So this is what we're doing for our 9th grade year. We will be doing labs. We'll be doing 2 to 3 labs a week where the children are doing experiments and really diving into that. And I'm into this as a mom, just open to all the things, and because our community needed someone to step in and facilitate the 9th grade, the freshmen, I decided to just get all in there and just do it from the inside out, and I'm working through it, and it's fascinating how even at an older age you can pick up all the things that you've never understood or never learned, and learning through it differently with open eyes and God first and God center is really important. So this is what we're doing for our 9th grade year. As we go, I'll share, if you're interested or if you're part of CC, share below. How are you enjoying it? How many years are you part of Classical Conversations? And I hope that you enjoyed today's video.